Hello and welcome. Welcome. This is quite a momentous day for a lot of people in this country for opposite reasons. And I want to address that later. But right now, just know that we are going to start off with 15 minutes of reducing fear paralysis and emotional stress and helping to reset the nervous system, helping to calm the vagus nerve with the Bund meditation. And then the second 15 minutes will be working with understanding a little bit about how I worked my way out of the hole that my upbringing had tossed me into when traumatic events started to happen with regularity. And then the last 15 minutes are going to be putting it into action, learning how to partner with our subconscious, because indeed that's what I learned how to do. The first part of my life was about my conscious mind being in control of everything and my body just being dragged along for the ride. And I learned the hard way that it leads to a quick exit from the planet through death if one does not take care of body and mind and spirit altogether. And that's what I did. I put it together into a health, body, mind, spirit health recovery book called Your Best Health by Friday. And while I'm mentioning it, I should also say for those of you who are subscribed to my YouTube channel that I've started having like a 2 minute or so reset into a positive emotional state. And you can find that on my YouTube channel at Right Brain University. And yesterday I started with the first one. I'll be putting it up daily, and it'll tie in with my new book, which is about spiritual development and the things that I've learned about how to embody a positive emotional state in the body at will whenever we need to reset. And so the videos will help the book work better. The book will help the videos as well, because you'll understand, you'll be in a state of receptivity, a greater receptivity by reading the book. And that is in process, as I said. Alrighty, so I'm going ahead and holding the shock points for fear paralysis, and just go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Notice if you can any kind of tension that's being held in the body. Are you able to connect in with those parts and release them? Can you make peace with the areas that are tense? Can you hold them in high regard, even if perhaps they do this frequently? Can you love these parts of you that carry your stress? It works so hard for us all the time. And often we just get irritated at them when they fail, when they have their little breakdown. Because we're just human. We can't do it all. We can't be perfect. It's unhealthy to try too hard to be perfect. I think some of the best advice I read at one point, and I forget who said it, was aim for 51%. Very good. All right. Deep breath in and let that go. All right. Now we're going to move on to emotional stress release, and I'm holding the points for those. So going ahead and just feeling into your body, and again, noticing, is there any spot that's tense? So this is um, a different way that I'm connecting with the body. The first one is sort of more of a brainstem response, and the second is more of an emotional brain response um, to stress and overwhelm. So we're getting both of those layers happy and peaceful and connected before continuing on. And everything's quite discombobulated this morning, so just sitting in that a little bit longer and sending everything love. There we go. Deep breath in and let that go. Great. Next, we're going to move on to Bun meditation, and I will go ahead and run us through it as if nobody had done it before for people watching later in case it's your first time. So this is our little guide, and we are going to be following the orange line when we breathe in. It's traveling down about an inch in front of the spinal column, and then it's ending up 3 finger widths below the belly button. So find that for you. It's different for everybody. And what we're going to do is breathe in and then breathe in a second time. And then from that point, we're going to have breath and energy move down to the junction. And then we're going to imagine holding the breath there and that the energy can travel up to the different chakras. First, it'll go to the crown chakra. We work from top down. When we are ready to release the breath, we imagine purple smoke heading straight up from our crown chakra. um, and then with each succeeding chakra, we're going to be imagining that color. But in this case, it'll be 360 degrees around like a circle on a horizontal plane from that throat chakra in sky blue. And then here also on that flat horizontal plane as a circle, 360 degrees around as green smoke. Same thing for the yellow. And then for the red, though, when we get there, we're going to imagine the energy coming down and releasing straight downward. Then let me just see if anybody's having trouble getting in, because I know some more people were going to come. So let's see, what else did I want to tell you? You don't want to hold your breath for too long. If you start to see spots or stars, you've held it too long. Don't get there. Soon, like the first hint that your vision is starting to cloud into spots or stars, let your breath go. And also, same thing with uh, if you feel your heart race. The goal here is to still be in a comfortable spot physiologically, or it does no benefit to you. And you have to monitor that for yourself. This is all about keeping healthy and calm, making sure that you have your doctor's approval to do these kinds of exercises, and proceeding from there. So, with that said, we're going to go ahead and take a deep breath in and another. And breath and energy goes down to the junction, and then hold the breath there, release the energy, just imagining this, right? Up to the crown chakra and holding that there until you're ready to release that. And when you're ready, 360, like a small cone circle straight up as purple smoke. And then just breathing calmly in between. This exercise allows the vagus nerve to reset into calm rest and digest mode. And so the goal is to help that out by not stressing the body in any other way, like by breath holding or until the heart races. So just sending loving thoughts to the body as you connect on this morning, November 6th. Alrighty, take a deep breath in and another breath and energy down to the junction. And this time, holding the breath and the energy comes up to that throat chakra. A beautiful sky blue color. And whenever you're ready to release, 360 degrees around the horizontal plane as blue smoke. And just calm, abiding in the moment. This exercise is wonderful for helping us stay in the now, staying in the present moment. All right. Deep breath in. Another breath and energy down to the junction. And this time we're going to send the energy to the heart chakra. We're going to hold it there as long as it's comfortable. Whenever you're ready, releasing that 360 degrees around as green smoke. Yeah, just calm, abiding. Very good. Deep breath in and another breath and energy down to the junction, and this time sending the energy to the solar plexus chakra, that yellow color that's kind of hard to see. And whenever you're ready to release, 360 degrees around is yellow smoke. Very good. Last one coming up. Deep breath in and another breath and energy down to the junction, and this time sending the breath, keeping the breath there, sending the energy to that first chakra. And whenever you are ready to release, that red smoke heads straight down towards Mother Earth. Again, kind of like a cone shape, straight down. Just calm, abiding. And that is called one meditation. And for anybody who wants more information on that, you can find out more at ligmancha.org, ligmancha.org. All right, so next we are going to move on to, let's see. Just going to go ahead and move on to education about working with our subconscious. And it's important to guide our subconscious, especially during scary times. Scary times are when the conscious mind often gives into a lot of worry thoughts. And worry thoughts are they are stressful and traumatizing to the subconscious mind because the subconscious mind is holding all of our trauma. Our subconscious mind is it's a small child. It's mature at the age of 7, and that's just when the conscious mind starts to be created. So it's especially important when we are in fear to monitor our self-talk and to make sure that we are in the moment, uh, experiencing the now as much as possible and redirecting our thoughts away from our old patterns, our automatic habits. Um, Fearful situations activate these inner children to take over. The subconscious is the default mind, is the way I think of it. Um, it's always looking for a way to react, and increase our odds of survival. But it's using old dated programming. So when we experience something in the present time that comes up that is similar in traumatic thought to things that have happened previously, what ends up happening is these automatic patterns run. We're never in our highest and best good when that happens. If you look at the David Hawkins scale, what's going to happen is we go straight back into survival mode. And all of those modes, all of those emotions are things like shame and guilt and anger and vindictiveness and rage. And that's our back brain operating, and to an extent, the emotional brain operating as well. But they're very low vibrational emotions. They are not helping us create the world that we want to create. And believe me, that's what we're doing here. We're creating the world that we want to inhabit. And we do it through our intention. And our intention sets the direction and the tone of our days. As we operate in the world, other people are experiencing our mirror neurons, and they're learning something from our emotional state. So be intentional and careful about what we put out into the world, for both for other people and for remembering that it's putting it out for the inner children as well. You're trying to provide, you're trying to be the captain for your ocean going yacht, right? That is setting a destination that's positive, the place that you want to be. And when in times of stress and duress, we forget ourselves and we allow these fear thoughts to take over, and then the whole process of these inner children becoming activated, it's very easy to forget that we do still have control as the parent mind. We do still have untapped power and potential of our ability to team with our subconscious towards a better day. And so I will just say too that since about half of the US, give or take, voted for Trump, ultimately about half of the people who watch this video are going to be very happy that he won and feeling very relieved. And the half that did not are going to be feeling very, very stressed. And so I do want to specifically help those who did not vote for him. So remembering that you can keep telling yourself to notice the 5 senses around you, how your feet are on the ground, your seat in the chair, so the physical effects of gravity on you, the sounds that you're hearing, the temperature of the air, things as they interact with your body, the air as it goes in and out of your nostrils, the clothes as they sit on your skin, and perhaps the smell of your laundry detergent. All of these things can help keep yourself in the now and out of the downward spiral that those inner children can send you into. And also, it's important to say that it's very still important to say, nice try to the upper limit problem, but it's not going to work this time. You can't keep me small anymore. Everything always turns out marvelously well. This becomes a tool, and it's not toxic positivity. Let me tell you the reason why. Again, it's directing the ship the way that we want it to head. It's keeping the inner children calmer by doing it. And whatever comes our way is the intention of the universe. We don't have control of that. What we do have is control over calling in the most positive of what's coming into ourselves for how we interact with the world. And so by saying that everything turns out marvelously well, we're leaving that door cracked open for our higher power to deliver good things to us. And also important to remember is that if you've ever read studies about people who survived during very, very hard times, whether it was Auschwitz, whether it was surviving in the prisoner of war camps and various wars, what happened to help people survive was positivity. They had a belief that they were going to survive. They had a belief that they were going to be safe. They had a belief that the good times were going to happen again. And the people who were in that state, who were able to maintain self-regulation and self-love and compassion, were then able to help others and survived in miraculous ways. So it's the ones with the positive mental attitudes and the belief that they'll be safe and free again one day who survive to enjoy the good times. Otherwise, the body is tearing itself up over whatever Orwellian or Atwoodian future that may never even arrive. Whatever you are experiencing as the truth of this election. And I would just add through my life as someone who's been through a whole lot of ups and downs, that it's easy to think and feel in a lot of extreme worry or sadness or anger in situations like this. But if you pay attention, your thoughts are whipping up your feelings, and it can make a person very sick. And I know because it nearly took me out mentally and physically. We can't know how things are going to turn out. We are not our higher power. And so, yes, for those of you who voted for Harris, things look dire. But the worst thing for our health and minds is scaring our subconscious in advance. Encourage your subconscious with hope that comes from a brighter future. And because it gets scared like a little kid when we think very negatively about our future. And then it can't function. It is so scared. And it's calling up all sorts of negative chemicals in your body, overusing the cortisol, stressing out your heart rate, increasing your blood pressure. So I want to remind you of Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor's book, Whole Brain Living now. Every single one of you who voted for Trump is in connection with their right hemisphere state. You are happy and peaceful and calm. And probably every one of you who voted for Harris is totally left hemisphere doomsday scenario right now. But even though you're in that left hemisphere doomsday scenario right now, your right hemisphere state, let me tell you what's going on there. The sun is out. The birds are chirping. The smell of coffee or tea is just as inviting, and comfort and coziness is just a thought or a movement away from your experiencing it. So ask yourself, what is that thought for you in the moment? What might that movement be? For movement, it might be a walk or a moving meditation. So take that time. You need it and you deserve it. All right. And then I will just also say that the child mind is so powerful that it calls in things, events, big events with polar reactions in order to be able to learn emotionally. And so for those of you like me who prefer peace and happiness and calm and people getting along. Think instead about what feelings can I lean into? What can I embody emotionally in order to let this emotional learning move through me? Because it doesn't have to stay there. It can be learned and released. And the sooner that we all do this, the sooner we're in a state where more of us are evolving towards love every moment. Although, whatever it looks like to you now, I assure you we are, in fact, evolving towards love. It's just the human process is very imperfect. So, yeah, again, giving yourself that positive destination and realizing that you might get to a point where you think, I was really doing well with what Liz was teaching me, but this is just too much. I can't do what she's saying and cope with what life feels like it's bringing me right now. And I have been there many, many times, and I have been dumped on in so many ways by other people's trauma that they are dealing with and how they interact with me. And I in turn them. And so I can just say that really, yes, we have to do it anyway. We can do it anyway. It's possible to rise and despite what we feel like such a heaviness going on. So how do we do that? It's the things that I've been saying. It's the staying in the moment. It's the encouraging self-talk. It's the physical movement of connecting with whatever brings you a flow state. And constantly reminding your upper limit problem that you see it and you love it and work on loving it. The people who voted for Trump did not get to be the people who didn't vote for Trump, and vice versa. So we're all one. We're put into this lifetime with all of these events that happen to us that are in opposition to each other in order for us to project what we can't love about ourselves, the part that we had to hide away to survive our childhood, onto other. And so as you go about your day, thinking about the self-love is important. And wherever you see somebody that's obviously of the other political party, imagine the face of you as a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, whatever age it was that you learned what your tribe was and where you got your rewards. Because that's what creates it. If you're in with a group of people who are rewarded for acting like Trump, that's your tribe. You're going to follow that. That's your safety. And vice versa. And the people who kind of end up thinking for themselves and being different from their families are the ones that perhaps had enough trauma that they were able to kind of step back and go, oh, wait a minute, and forge their own path. But in general, what happens for most humans is that they have just enough trauma to realize where the butter and the meat and the milk and the bread come from on the plate every night. And they know what they have to do to please, and every other part of them gets shoved away and becomes an inner child. And so as we extend our self-love, imagining here's your photo, there's the person embodying whatever it is that's setting you off, and embodying that self-love to this person, we're putting out a much higher vibration in general to the world, you see, because otherwise, if we just see this and we hate this, it's really within us something that we're hating and we're projecting and we're putting out hate into the world. They see it, they feel it, and our inner child feels it. So if you want to be a part of raising the vibration, this is your next step. And you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. I promise. It's a muscle. Alrighty, love. So now we're going to put it all into action. We're going to find out, based on this goal, I am healed in body, speech, and mind. I am comfortable in my body. I allow my body and my mind to learn from and let go of old stress and trauma. I am allowed to feel calm. It is safe for me to feel calm and peaceful in my body. I sleep deeply through the night, knowing everything always turns out marvelously well. My relationships are easy and peaceful. My negative core beliefs are healed. I stay calm throughout my day, even when provoked. My higher power supports me fully in this. I deeply love all of my inner children who are stressed and traumatized and who keep me from feeling calm and peaceful. I invite them home to my heart. My parents and siblings want this for me. My extended family and friends want this for me. Society wants this for me. So this is all this goal. As much as our conscious mind wants it, our subconscious mind will have some aspects that it doesn't agree with. And maybe we weren't the right sex in our family. We weren't the favorite child in our family. We weren't the favorite family in town. There's all sorts of different ways. We weren't the most favored race in our town or country. So all of these things can impact us. And this is how we work our way through. We set a goal, it causes stress, and then we find the emotion. And this is the land of the emotional kiddie pool. So the land of, everyday world is where emotions can feel like tidal waves surging through the body. But here we isolate it to a drop or two of a feeling so that we don't get swept away or overwhelmed. I'm holding points to allow you to be safe in connecting to that feeling. And again, just that drop or two. Otherwise, it can flood the liver with too many neurochemicals at once, and that can leave you feeling nauseated. So I'm just checking the feelings for today. Okay. Let's see if this is one that exists already. Okay. So this is a feeling of sorry, let me just make sure I'm looking at the right one. Okay, so this is always having to do the utmost or be the utmost. It's like having to be a perfectionist. And it's a soul level. So here we are, we come here every week, we work on ourselves, we work on ourselves, we work on ourselves, we work on ourselves, and we are trying to find the reward, right? Trying to find, for those of us who may have voted for the losing party this time, having wanted some reward for the hard work that we've done in making a shift. And what I would say is those of us who do this work are rewarded by having tools in times of stress, like you may be experiencing now. So just connecting in with the body. And for those of you who are new, the idea is to, again, give the body permission to send you a drop or two of feeling. And then just notice, and it might be very briefly, but the body might send you something that you can become aware of. And it might be something like hot, cold, numbness, tingling, pressure, ease, movement. And it might be the direct feeling of always having to be the best and to do one's utmost. So send that love if it's uncomfortable in your body, because it's a lot, right? To always have to try and be good, to be the best. Turn the other cheek. So the body is able to learn when we don't judge the feeling. When all we do is observe it and allow it to send us the feeling, that's when it can learn. Basically, it has to learn through partnership with the conscious mind. And when it does that, then it can say, oh yeah, that kind of sucks that, why do we always have to do the best and nobody else does? Or, not so many of the other people do, right? So just sending that love and knowing that it's a part of the process. As we rise. So just see if I have. Yeah, so there's another feeling. Okay, looking this one up. So this is the feeling of being mean as a junkyard dog. So whether we're dealing with being the winners in this election or the losers in this election, this feeling could come up as a way of either, oftentimes when we win, we're not graceful winners, and oftentimes when we lose, we're not graceful losers. And so we can be very, very angry and wanting to harm other for having, been in our way, or be very angry at the thought and of having to defend ourselves, right? So just send that love. Give your body permission to feel a drop or two. And notice within as things unfold, as the body learns, sending it love. Noticing again things like hot, cold, numbness, tingling, pressure, ease, movement, discomfort. And I'm just waiting for the pulses to even out. Sometimes any negative emotion that we have can be so hidden that we might not even identify with something like this, because the people who are trying really hard, they're trying really hard to manage all of their negative feelings. They're trying to stuff them really well. And guess what? We're human. If we're not expressing it, emotions are energy in motion, and it's either running through us and we're letting the body learn from them, or we're actually catching them in our body and fascia wraps around the little neurochemicals to protect them so that the body can go back later and learn from them. So the people who have probably the most anger are the people who express it the least, um, in terms of it being lodged in the body, having a backlog to clear. So take a deep breath in and let that go. Alrighty, so the next thing we're going to do is integrate inner children. And this is a process of rewiring the subconscious mind that the subconscious mind is willing to do once it learns feelings connected to a goal. So this is why this process of these sessions on Wednesday are a rinse and repeat that people need to come back for. There's always a new layer to be learned. There's always a new emotion to, in the moment, be able to accommodate, to be able to love oneself despite having these feelings hidden away within us. So if you were the black sheep in the family, you might not be ready for this exercise, but just know that in time you will be. It's basically about having enough self-compassion that inner children who've been cast aside feel that you are safe as a home base to come back to, that your heart can hold them with love and compassion. And if you were, if you drank the Kool-Aid in your family, if you had to drink the Kool-Aid in your family that you were the problem, then that sort of naturally creates a state where you can't believe that you weren't the problem, that the problem was the family dynamic and that they created the issues with you. So eventually you'll get there. You can just imagine yourself in a beautiful, safe place until we're done, if this is not right for you today. And if it is, then go ahead and join with us. So we're going to have 5,000 inner children. These are 5,000 milliseconds of emotional experience. These are not 5,000 situations, but times throughout your life that resonate with this. And it's inner children from the ages of birth to the present day. So imagine yourself in a beautiful, safe place where your older children are taking care of your younger children. And imagine being able to walk up to them and either out loud or in your head say hello. Tell them, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were here all alone. I came as soon as I heard. I'm you, all grown up. We've survived and we've thrived. Your home is in my heart. Come home to my heart. And show them pictures of you between the ages of birth to the present day so they know you've survived, because time stops for each of them at the time of their creation. And now, if you need more time, you are going to, I'm going to refer you to a video at it's 49 minutes and 55 seconds long. And at minute 35 and 21 seconds, you'll be able to find more time and a better explanation of how to bring home even reluctant inner children. For those of you who are ready to continue, I'm going to have you ask your inner children if they're willing to come home to your heart, and then join along with me if they are, and refer to that video, watch that video if they aren't. So for those of you who are ready to continue, tell them that they can shrink down and become points of light, and they can make their way home to your heart. You may have a sense of shimmering or vibration start up in the body. That's your fascial train activating to release these little ones. And it still works even if you can't feel that. But for those of you who are ready to continue, follow me. And for those of you who need more time, again, that video will be of help. So for those of you who are ready, take a deep breath in and breathe out a buttery yellow light of self-compassion to every cell in your body and to every inner child within. And to all of you who are continuing, take a deep breath in when you're ready. And this time, breathe out love and gratitude to every layer of you that cooperated here today. Great. So now I'm going to remove negative energies. And I'm going to do a chakra reset first. Okay, so chakra 90 is coming back online. It's one of the things that the subconscious mind can do is to unhook the power to a particular chakra to prevent a goal from coming true. So now that we have learned the feelings for its benefit, it's willing to partner with us and allow me to reset this chakra to being active. Great. Okay, so now I'm removing negative energies. Then we'll do the final exercise, which is gratitude, and I'll do Q&A and move on to doing brain gym, which will really help those of us who are activated today to get more calm and centered. So removing negative energies, I'll just be quiet for a moment while we do that. And I'll just say to notice your body. If there's any places I'm doing this process and might start to feel tense, just make sure that you're relaxing those muscles and allowing this process to be easier of removing negative energies. Okay, very good. And so gratitude. Gratitude to yourself for showing up. Gratitude to your subconscious for working with you. And gratitude to your higher power for always being there for you. Gratitude tells all of you that you like where you're going and you want more of the same. And it also informs your higher power. So I encourage a gratitude practice.